Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Big Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Friday, January 5th, 2024. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my bank shop best bet in college basketball, you can find this at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Friday in college hoops. First up, we see Miami, Ohio taking on Toledo. This one's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on CBS Sports Network. I still think there's value with Toledo. We took Toledo plus the points against Ohio. They won that game outright pretty easily, 86-77. I think that defense is still underrated. The offense is super strong, a very good shooting team, good rebounding team on the offensive side at least. They don't turn the ball over much, and they force a good amount of turnovers and tough shots defensively. I think Toledo, one of the better teams in the MAC this season. This is a solid MAC conference. A few really good, contenders this year. But Miami, Ohio, I don't think is one of them. I think this is one of the weaker teams in the conference. They're one of the worst rebounding teams in college basketball. And while they're a really good three-point shooting team, they take a lot of low percentage shots. The shot quality on both ends of the court is not very good for Miami, Ohio. I think we're going to see this team regress as the season goes along. I mean, we saw them only put up 74 points against Western Michigan in that game. And when the shots weren't falling, Miami, Ohio struggled. They lost that game by 9 points. I think we see a blowout loss here. I like Toledo big. I'm going to lay the points with the Rockets. Next up, we see Fairfield and Siena. This one's going to be a 7 p.m. Eastern start time on ESPN+. Now, I know Siena's been one of the worst teams in college basketball this year, and I know Fairfield's on a 6-game win streak, but I think Fairfield's overvalued in this spot. I don't think this team is as good as its record or its win streak, and I think Siena is still undervalued after a couple of solid performances against Brown and UMass. They only lost by 4 to Brown. They only lost by 13, which was covering the number against UMass on the road. And Siena, while they're not a very good offensive team and the defense isn't great either, they are a really good offensive rebounding team. They're top 30 in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. That's a big problem for Fairfield. One of the worst things on their defense is the defensive rebounding percentage, ranked 322nd this season. So Siena should get a lot of second chance looks in this game. And like I said, this team's improving. I mean, the last couple of games, probably 2 of their best games of the season so far. And I think this is a spot where we're catching way too many points with Siena because of that win streak for Fairfield. They're way overpriced. I don't think Fairfield's nearly as good as its record, so give me the points here with Siena at home. Next up, we see Illinois and Purdue, the game of the night for Friday in college basketball. This one's going to be 8:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. A pair of top 10 teams going at it in the Big Ten in this game. I like Purdue here. We faded Illinois against Northwestern. That did not go well. Illinois, give them credit. They won that game by 30 points, and that was a game where Northwestern shot the ball pretty well from 50%. Illinois matched them, though. They went 10 of 18 from the perimeter for a 56 three-point percentage as a team. I still think Illinois, a very solid team, but not necessarily known as a program that plays too well on the road. I mean, last year in conference play, they had 2 true road wins, Illinois did. One of them was against Minnesota. We know Minnesota was one of the worst teams in Power 5 hoops in general last year, so not necessarily the most impressive victory. The other one was against Wisconsin, a team outside the top 60 in KenPom. You're going into Purdue, the toughest team in the country right now, without your star player and Terrence Shannon, who remains to be suspended for Illinois. I just don't know if Illinois has enough offensively to keep up in this game. Purdue should be able to score at will. This is a team that's been able to score the basketball against any opponent it's faced this season. Even in its loss in the overtime game against Northwestern, it was competitive offensively. This is a great rebounding team. I like Illinois, and I got to give them credit for last game. I was really impressed with what they did without Shannon, but in this true road game, I don't love their chances. So give me Purdue. I'm laying the points. Next up, we see Bowling Green and Akron. This one's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Now, I think similar to Miami, Ohio, I think Bowling Green, one of the weakest teams in the MAC this season, despite their nice win streak. They're on an 8-game win streak. We got to look at the teams that they played along the way. A couple of subdivision teams, a lot of teams ranked outside the top 300 in KenPom. They beat Eastern Michigan, who's ranked 296 in KenPom. They needed overtime at home to win that game by only 2 points, so didn't come close to covering the spread. I do think going forward, we're going to see some regression for this Bowling Green team, and I don't love their chances in the MAC against probably the best team in the conference, at least on paper right now, in the Akron Zips, who are 9-4 this season. They open conference play with an absolute blowout W against Northern Illinois, 73-51. Akron, just a really balanced team. They're a good rebounding team, good shooting team. I think they're the much better team in this matchup. I like their chances to grab a W and a blowout win and cover. Give me Akron. I'm going to lay the points. And the final game we're going to talk about for Friday's card in college basketball, it's going to be San Jose State and Boise State. This one's going to be 10:30 Eastern. It's going to be on Fox Sports 1. I think Boise State is a team right now flying under the radar going into conference play in the Mountain West. I think this is a sneaky good team. And, it was a team that lost a good amount of production from last year's roster, but still play a really tough non-conference schedule. It's battle-tested, 38th toughest non-conference schedule in Division I hoops this year. And sure, they struggled in a couple of their step-up games, like against Clemson and Virginia Tech, and they lost to Butler. But they also picked up some nice wins for their resume against some solid mid-major schools and programs. San Francisco, VCU, they beat St. Mary's, a really nice win there. They beat North Texas as well. And like I said, going into conference play, a lot of the people looking at the New Mexicos, the Colorado States, the San Diego States. I'd say Boise State's going to make some noise here in the conference this season. But San Jose State, the last we saw them, they blew a big lead against Wyoming. They were up, I think, by 17 points in that game. Ended up losing by 2 points, 75-73. I don't love the current form that San Jose State is in, really on both sides of the court. Their offense, they're a good shooting team, but they don't really take a lot of good shots, a lot of low percentage looks. They're not a very good rebounding team. They don't get to the free throw line. I don't think the defense holds up in this game. Now, I will say the one thing that San Jose State has going for it is that it played really well against Boise State last year. They won one of the games, and they were competitive in the other one in the loss. But in this game, I think it's going to be all Boise State. So give me the Broncos. I'm going to lay the points. And that's it. Those are the games for Friday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.